His bitter thought was interrupted by a growl. Unsure of what it was, he waited a bit before turning back. As he turned, to his horror, he found himself staring into the piercing eyes of a long time ago, in the heart of Ekite, a village shrouded in the dense embrace of towering forests, there lived a people ensnared in fear. The tranquil rhythm of their lives was shattered by the shadowy presence of a fearsome beast prowling through the dense forest, leaving behind a trail of terror and tragedy. Its ferocious roars echoing through the night, its vicious attacks leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Occasionally, a wild beast would emerge from the shadows, attacking and killing the villagers. For generations, the people of Ekite had battled this formidable adversary, sending their bravest warriors into the depths of the forest, only to watch them return, battered and broken. Their valor, no match for the savage might of the beast. Each failed attempt to vanquish the creature left the villagers with hearts heavy with despair. Yet, amidst the darkness, a glimmer of hope flickered in the form of an ancient prophecy. Whispers of a savior, a chosen one destined to save the villagers, had been passed down through the generations like a sacred torch, illuminating the path of destiny that lay ahead. No one knew when or how such a prophecy will come to pass, and so the people of Ekite continued to live in fear, hoping that someday help would come. As the people of Ekite clung to this prophecy like a lifeline, Nnamdi and Nkem, an old couple, found themselves in the center of this prophecy. For years, they had prayed for a child to bless their union, their hearts heavy with longing and unfulfilled dreams. On the day Nkem went into labor, the elements themselves seemed to bear witness to the profound significance of the moment. A heavy downpour came down from the heavens. Thunder roared like the voice of the gods. Lightning danced across the sky in a dazzling display of power, and the wind howled with a fierce urgency, as if heralding the arrival of a long-awaited miracle. In the dim light of their humble abode, Nkem brought forth a baby boy. As she cradled her newborn in her arms, tears of joy mingled with the rain that cascaded down from the heavens. The baby, with tufts of hair adorning his tiny form, let out a cry that pierced the silence, a cry that echoed with the promise of a new beginning. As Nnamdi rushed to his wife's side, his heart brimming with unbridled joy, he beheld the son with joy. In that moment, as he gazed into his son's face, he knew that the gods had bestowed upon them a gift beyond measure, and so he named him Ikenga, meaning strength. Ikenga seemed like any other normal child, growing stronger and bigger with each passing day. However, when he reached around 6 months old, Nnamdi and Nkem noticed something peculiar. A tiny tail was beginning to grow above Ikenga's bottom, accompanied by the emergence of hairs all over his body. At first, the couple was bewildered, but as the weeks went by, the tail continued to grow larger and the hairs more pronounced. Fear crept into Nkem's heart as she grappled with the unknown. Nnamdi too was worried, but he held on to hope that it was nothing serious. Despite the strange development, Ikenga remained a healthy boy, unaffected by the presence of his tail. By Ikenga's first birthday, the tail had grown to a remarkable length, adorned with fine dark fur that matched the hair on his body. Initially, Nnamdi and Nkem tried to shield their son from prying eyes, hoping to protect him from harm and judgment. However, as time passed, they realized that they could no longer hide or deny the extraordinary aspect of their son. The community's reaction was mixed. Some were fascinated, others were fearful, and a few were outright judgmental. As Ikenga grew older, he became a subject of curiosity and wonder, with many seeking to understand the mystery behind his unique trait. Despite the initial fascination and curiosity surrounding Ikenga's unique traits, the atmosphere soon turned hostile as strange rumors began to spread about the child born with a tail. Some labeled him as cursed, while others cruelly referred to him as a human monkey. The once welcoming community now shunned Nnamdi's house, and children refused to play with Ikenga, fearing the stigma of being associated with someone deemed cursed. Amidst the rejection and isolation, there was one person who saw beyond Ikenga's physical appearance: Norma, a strange old woman who retained faith in a prophecy that foretold of a child with extraordinary strength. She alone recognized resilience and potential within Ikenga, perceiving a strength beyond human comprehension. Norma, with her keen insight and unwavering faith, was the only one who saw beyond Ikenga's physical appearance. She perceived a divine strength within Ikenga that transcended his outward appearance. Recognizing the extraordinary potential that lay within him, however, her words fell on deaf ears as the villagers remained skeptical, unable to fathom how their prophesied savior could possibly come in the form of a seemingly weak and peculiar human monkey boy. As the community's disdain grew, Nnamdi and Nkem found themselves grappling with the harsh reality. Despite their efforts to shield Ikenga from the judgment and cruelty, the weight of societal rejection took its toll on the family. One peaceful afternoon, while the villagers went about their daily routines, a group of men went fishing in the stream, hoping for a catch. Among them was Nnamdi, Ikenga's father. Unaware of the impending danger, suddenly the deadly beast emerged from its hiding and charged towards the stream. In a swift and brutal attack, it claimed the life of one man and grievously wounded another, Nnamdi himself. The beast's ferocity cost Nnamdi a leg as he fought to escape its grasp, leaving him sprawled in a pool of blood. Despite surviving the ordeal, doubts swirled among the villagers. How could Ikenga, supposedly the chosen one, fail to protect his own father? Such questions fueled resentment and suspicion, casting a shadow over Nnamdi's family in the aftermath of the tragedy. In the village of Ekite, the specter of imminent attacks cast a shadow over the daily life, leaving the inhabitants in a perpetual state of fear. Amidst this climate of uncertainty, Nnamdi and Nkem dedicated themselves to shielding young Ikenga from harm, clinging to the hope that one day the villagers would see beyond his outward appearance to the kindness within. As Ikenga grew, loneliness became his constant companion, his faith in finding acceptance waning as the villagers' fear only intensified. By the age of 10, Ikenga's tail had matured into a formidable appendage, its size and strength impossible to conceal. The hair on his body had also become very pronounced. Despite his gentle nature, the other children shunned and mocked him, their hurtful words carving deep wounds in Ikenga's tender heart. One fateful day, as Ikenga ventured outside to join the village children in play, his tail swaying with innocent excitement, their reaction was anything but welcoming. Screams filled the air as they fled in terror, while those who remained threw stones at him, calling him an evil child. Tears streamed down his cheeks. Ikenga ran back to the safety of his family's hut. The cruelty of the other children pierced his soul. All he had wanted was to play alongside them. Yet, their rejection served as a painful confirmation of his deepest fears, that he would never be accepted by the villagers. Nkem enveloped her son in a comforting embrace, while gently stroking his fuzzy tail to offer solace. In her arms, Ikenga found refuge, his mother's unwavering love providing a sanctuary of safety and acceptance. "Don't despair, my child," Nkem whispered, her voice a soothing balm. "Those children may not understand you as I do, but one day they will recognize your goodness and your true worth." With the tear-filled eyes, Ikenga gazed up at his mother, his heart heavy with questions. "But why am I different?" he asked, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Nkem tenderly wiped away his tears, her smile radiating warmth and reassurance. "You are blessed, my son," she replied, her words infused with conviction. "You are chosen by the ancestors for a special purpose, even if we don't know what it is yet." Nkem whispered into her son's ear, "Never forget who you are, Ikenga." She murmured, her voice a gentle reminder. "You are my beloved son and the chosen one of our ancestors. Your uniqueness is a gift and a mark of your special destiny." A faint smile graced Ikenga's lips, his mother's words weaving a thread of hope amidst his doubts. If his mother believed in him, perhaps there was indeed hope that one day he would find acceptance and fulfillment in the eyes of his village. That night, sleep eluded Ikenga. His thoughts swirled with questions that haunted him. Why was he born different? What was his purpose if the villagers would never accept him? These worries gnawed in his mind as he still twitched anxiously beside him. Eventually, exhaustion claimed him and he slept off, his dreams troubled by the weight of his uncertainties. In the following years, life trudged on much as before for Ikenga. He withdrew into himself, weary of attracting unwanted attention. The villagers maintained their suspicious look and usual gossip whenever he passed by. Though the cruelty of the children lessened with time, their aloofness remained, denying Ikenga the companionship he longed for. Alone with his chores, tending to the family's livestock in the secluded bush near his home, Ikenga still dragged heavily in the dirt, a constant reminder of his perceived burden. One misty morning, Ikenga stole away into the quiet stillness. The village was quiet and still as the villagers dreaded coming out that early for fear of being attacked by the beasts. Ikenga enjoyed the peace and quiet. It was the only time he could move around freely without people gossiping about him or looking at him like trash. With a tentative sense of freedom, Ikenga ventured into the forbidden forest, his tail swaying with newfound excitement. He leaped over fallen branches and ducked under low-hanging branches. As he pushed his muscles to their limits, using his tail to propel himself higher and faster, Ikenga felt a fleeting sense of liberation. Running through the forest, he shared the weight of his worries, embracing the raw, untamed beauty of nature. Ikenga stumbled upon a pond nestled deep within the heart of the forest. Crouching by its tranquil shores, he gazed into the still waters, his reflection staring back at him with haunting familiarity. The sight of his fur-covered skin and imposing tail elicited a pang of bitterness within him, fueling his lingering doubts and insecurities. Ikenga frowned and stood up. Why did he have to be born this way? Without this awful look, he could be like any other boy in the village with friends and a normal life. His bitter thought was interrupted by a growl. Unsure of what it was, he waited a bit before turning back. As he turned, to his horror, he found himself staring into the piercing eyes of the dreaded beast. If you enjoy my story and would want to know how the story progressed, please make sure to subscribe, not forgetting to hit on the bell notification icon so that when next I post the continuing part of the story, you will be the first to know about it. Meanwhile, feel free to like and share my video with your family and friends, not forgetting to drop a comment in the comment section about how you feel about this video. Till we meet again in my next video, remain blessed. Thank you.